made me more defiant. So I would like to read it. It is called Of Mice and Men. I've always admired people who can enter a conversation without overtaking it. My friend Evelyn, for instance. Hello, so nice to meet you. And then she just accepts things as they come. If her new acquaintance wants to talk about plans, she might mention a few of her own, never boastfully, but with a pleasant tone of surprise, as if her parlor poem and the other person's had coincidentally attended the same high school. The secret to her social success is that she's genuinely interested, not in all subjects maybe, but definitely in all people. I like to think that I share this quality, but when it comes to meeting strangers, I tend to get nervous and rely on a stash of pre-prepared stories. Sometimes they're based on observation or hearsay, but just as often they're taken from the newspaper. An article about a depressed Delaware woman who hung herself from a tree on October 29th and was mistaken for a Halloween decoration. The fact that it's illegal to offer a monkey a cigarette in the state of New Jersey. Each is tragic in its own particular way, and leaves the listener with a bold mental picture. Here is a dead woman dangling against a backdrop of scarlet leaves. Here is a zookeeper with an open pack of parliaments. Go ahead, he whispers. Take one. Then there was a story mailed to me by a stranger in New England who clipped it from his local paper. It concerned an 81-year-old Vermont man whose home was overrun by mice. The actual house was not described, but in my mind it was 2 stories tall and isolated on a country road. I also decided that it was painted white, not that it mattered so much. I just thought it was a nice touch. So the retired guy's house was overrun, and when he could no longer bear it, he fumigated. The mice fled into the yard and settled into a pile of dead leaves, which no doubt crackled beneath their weight. Thinking that he had them trapped, the man set the pile on fire, then watched as a single flaming mouse raced back into the basement and burned the house to the ground. The newspaper clipping arrived in the spring of 2006, just as I was preparing to leave for the United States. There were clothes to be ironed and papers to sort, but before doing anything, I wrote the New Englander a thank you note and said that the article had moved me in unexpected ways. I did not mention that I planned to get a lot of mileage out of it. That was my hope. For how could you go wrong with such a story? It was, to my mind, perfect.